Um, that's a really good question. Growing up, one of the things that I kept hearing as even just a little kid, as I was going over to Grandpappy and Trishy's house, even just in our own house, one of the things when we would talk about the industry in Fort Lauderdale, why it existed here, there was always a connection to Grandpappy and Trishy's honeymoon in 1948, right? So I find that really interesting because that was the way it's been told to me by you, my dad, and others, is that they got married in late 1947, I think, and during that time, they were up in Michigan, but during that time in late 1947 was one of the last times that Broward County ever got a direct hit from a hurricane. It was actually back to back, and it just annihilated the place. And I've always wondered if the reason that they decided to have a honeymoon in Fort Lauderdale was because they got some amazing deal, right? I mean, who the hell would want to go down to Fort Lauderdale right after two back-to-back hurricanes? And I'm assuming Grandpappy found some sweetheart deal to get down here, and he did. And when he came down, what I always thought was really cool was that Grandpappy and Shushi, it wasn't just a vacation for them. It wasn't just a honeymoon thing. They were actually looking around, trying to discover opportunity. They were down here when people were leaving. They were coming in, exploring. And as a result of the time spent here, right, they purchased dualies, and that kind of started everything. And I always found that just a really, really neat bit of our family's history was that it started as a honeymoon, this sort of like connecting point between two people. When everybody was leaving, they came in and started this thing. And there's no doubt that that decision changed not only our lives and our kids' lives, but also the people of Fort Lauderdale and the people of Broward County. The number of boats built, and then not only during the actual construction process, which employs a lot of people, but after the boats were built, the economic impact of every single one of those boats in any port, but let's just use Fort Lauderdale, let's say the boat stayed here, it's 13% of the value of the boat is spent in gas, fuel, provisioning, crew. And so when you think about the reverberations of a good deal on a honeymoon like that, and you think about the hundreds of boats built and the millions of dollars spent locally in this economy, it's just a really, really cool thing to be proud of.